So we are here. This is the first. Welcome to the fifth CoSIDA week. Welcome to the fifth CoSIDA Thank Your SID week using the hashtag Thank Your SID on all social media platforms, hosted by CoSIDA. My name is David Gibson. With me, I have McKenzie Garrison of the NJCAA. Hi, McKenzie. How are you?
Hey, David. I'm really good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. So this was kind of a list of people were given to us, and you were, in fact, on one of the short lists of people to talk to. So first of all, I wanted to kind of ask you some essential things, some basic things, just about this week in general, and why it might be important to you. So why do you think athletic communications is essential to begin with?
I think athletic communications is essential within the collegiate athletic space because, that's just how everything that is done gets communicated out to fans, to student athletes, in our case to member colleges at the NJCAA. It's also essential for not just the sports information side of it, but also communicating all different areas of athletics. So for us, it's working with our compliance department to communicate out to our membership or championships or whatever it may be. So
Everybody, I believe, and I'm sure you agree, and a lot of other people agree, just in general. SIDs are a lot more than their work. SIDs are a lot more than just being an SID. It goes beyond that. It goes beyond being, a support net for student athletes to each other. I mean, what does being an SID beyond the desk work look like for you?
absolutely. So in my role at the NJCAA national office, unfortunately, we don't get that day-to-day kind of interaction in person with student athletes as SIDs do, on campus. So for us, the kind of building the relationships with our member colleges, with coaches and administrators and other SIDs around the country at our member colleges is kind of really important for us at the national office level. And then also just kind of on a day-to-day, anytime we can, promote a student athlete who maybe their member college doesn't have, the resources for a full sports information department. And then we can see, that kid's reaction, wow, the NJCAA put something out about me. I think that's just kind of the rewarding connections that we get to make, even though it's maybe not necessarily the in-person connections.
Yeah, so you're doing a lot of this work remotely, and it's really, really cool that you mentioned being able to do that for people. I mean, what is that like? What does that search process look like for you? I mean, do people come to you and say, "Hey, I've got this kid," or do kids reach out to you, or do you research? I mean, what is that like?
It's kind of a combination of all of the above. Whether it's whenever we put out national rankings and we use a picture of a kid that a college submitted, and then they kind of get to see that on our website and social media. A lot of the times it is pictures or stories or information that we will get directly from our member colleges. Sometimes it's scrolling through social media when you get there in the morning to see kind of what's been happening throughout the week, and just kind of trying to stay connected with the membership as much as possible without being able to be there in person.
How have you grown as an SID, maybe as a communicator or anything like that over the past, oh gosh, we're going on a year now actually, aren't we, of this COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah. So for, everyone in the country whenever COVID happened, it was just trying to scramble and figure out where we were going to land. And, in many ways we're still doing that. I think everyone would kind of echo that. But I think as far as a communicator, we've really had to kind of figure out ways to still be able to promote our student athletes and get a story out there, even when there's no sports that we're kind of used to promoting. So whether it's coming up with unique campaign ideas or just finding interesting stories about how student athletes are working from home, doing their workouts at home, just finding unique ways to stay connected.
So this week is obviously about, being able to say thank you to SIDs. A lot of people, and I'm sure there are a lot of people that are watching this right now, might feel like, I don't want to brag on myself. That's not necessarily what this week is about. This week has a lot to do with, just being grateful for the work that we do. Nobody's saying you have to ask for an award, but outside of like kind of maybe your office, I mean, who are some SIDs maybe that you might want to thank right now during this time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one thing that I've had the opportunity to be a part of with my role at the NJCAA is I'm on the CoSIDA 2-year cabinet. We have a great group of about 10 SIDs from the NJCAA, from the CCC, 2A, and the NWAC that represent 2-year institutions across the country. And I think being able to work with that cabinet and that group to kind of try to promote SIDs at the 2-year college level. Some of our member colleges kind of being able to try to advocate for sports information and hiring an SID and kind of showing the value. So that is a newly created cabinet, I believe. And so being able to be a part of that this semester and throughout this academic year, I would really like to thank those individuals for just kind of their work trying to promote sports information at the 2-year level.
This last question might be a toughie for you. What is something you're most looking forward to about this Thank Your SID week?
Ooh. I think just kind of reiterating that awareness of the importance of sports information. I know that, with COVID, lots of budgets are in question, around the country. And I think the more that we can thank our SIDs and kind of show the value and the importance of that is kind of how we can advocate for more athletic communications professionals.
Awesome. Well, McKenzie, Garrison, again from the NJCAA, thank you very much for coming on. We all really do appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.